Hello, this is Heather Hodlin, and I'm going to be explaining writing methods using turtles. So let's begin in our turtle.java file. As you can see, we are going to be drawing a block capital letter H with a given height and width. So let's begin with our method header, public void draw letter H int height int width. This is stating that it's set to public, void being that there will not be any return from this method. Draw letter H is our method name, int height and int width are our parameter list, being that the height and the width are both going to be integers. To begin, I use the format of this dot simple turtle method parameter list, using the word this as this is going to be a turtle method that we later call on turtles with different names. This is the format that we're going to use. You can see that I use forward, turn right, turn left, and whatnot. As you can see though, our parameters, I use height or width, but on line 169 you can see that I not only just use height or width, but I combine them in a mathematical equation being height minus width divided by 2. This is stating that the solution to this equation is the specific parameter being entered. This happens a few times within this method. Now let's go test this. Here we have my header of my file name, author name, and whatnot, import statements, and our other header statements such as public static void. I start by creating my world W with specific dimension 600 by 800. Next, I create 4 turtles that are going to vary their width, and I place them at a specific location in the world W. They are named TW1, TW2, and so forth because of the varying width. Next, we have our varying height turtles, our TH turtles, TH1, TH2, and whatnot, also placed in the same world at different locations. And lastly, we have our 4 turtles that will vary their height and the width. I call those the T turtles, T1, T2, also placed in the same world at different locations. I placed my turtles so that they will form a grid in this world. Next, on line 35, you can see the commented section is reiterating the fact that our X parameter is the height and our Y parameter is the width as defined in our draw letter H method in our turtle.java file. So let's begin with our TW object turtles where we call the method draw letter H, and in the parameter section you can see that the 100 or the X value is the same for all 4 turtles, but the Y or the width is varying. Next, we have the height varying turtles, the TH turtles, where you can see that the X value in the parameter list varies, or the height, while the Y value stays the same. And lastly, we have our turtles that vary height and width, our T turtles. You can see that all the numbers entered in the parameter list vary. I made sure that the ratio of these turtles, or the ratio between the X and Y parameters of these turtles, are not the same as previous turtles. So let's go compile and run. Now you can see our grid system of all of our turtles. The first line is going to have our width varying turtles. The second line is our height varying turtles, as you can see, but the final turtle there is not even an H. It drew a rectangle. This is because the height and the width were given the same value. And on our final line, we have our turtles that varied height and width. If you look at the second one, however, you can see it does not form an H. It is a plus sign. This is because the width was larger than the height. So with this demonstration, it is obvious or should be noted that the parameters entered matter, and varying these parameters will vary the result of your drawing. Thank you.